Today we're talking about an electric vehicle performance brand, Polestar. This is a car maker many Americans aren't familiar with yet, but you will be soon. And you'll want to watch this video because they're openly taking on Tesla and Audi. This is a company with true grit, and they'll be manufacturing Polestar 3 in the US this coming year. So hop in and let's get going. Last summer, Polestar released their first teaser of their electric SUV. I'm talking about the Polestar 3, which they say will be manufactured on U.S. soil. South Carolina, to be precise. We're talking about a sporty electric SUV with a front trunk or frunk. The concept features sleek angles, from a hexagonal compact upper grille and horizontally flipped T-shaped headlamps to a trapezoidal lower grille and triangular cutouts on its front bumper. The EV is set to hit the production line at the end of 2022, and it'll be priced similar to Porsche's Cayenne with a range of 373 miles. But let's talk about the company. Polestar was founded in 1996 by Volvo's partner Flash Polestar Racing. Eventually, Volvo bought them in 2015. They say Polestar gets its history and safety from Volvo, but its future comes from the other parent company, the Zhejiang Geely Holding Group. But let's back up a bit here. Did you know that the Chinese company owns Volvo and at least 15 other car makers, some of which brands are more familiar in Europe? Polestar is headquartered in Gothenburg, Sweden. Thus far, their cars have been made in China. They've been making electric vehicles, and they also offer performance upgrades and engine software optimizations for Volvo models through its Polestar engineering division. Back in 1996, Polestar originally started out as a Swedish racing team that competed in the Swedish Tour Car Championship. As a racing team, they were successful. The team later was bought and renamed Polestar Racing. In the late 2000s, it began making modified racing Volvos. And that's what led to an official partnership with Volvo. Polestar also produced concept cars. The first such car was the C30 Polestar Performance Concept Prototype. That was back in 2010. Then, in 2013, the company decided to unveil its first real production model, the S60. Thereafter, they released the V60 Polestar station wagon in 2014. It was powered by a turbocharged V6 engine that output 350 horsepower and 370 pound-feet of torque. It could go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 4.9 seconds, and the V60 earned positive reviews in the media. In July 2015, Volvo acquired the company and the brand and started offering enhanced Polestar models direct. Then, in June 2017, Volvo announced that Polestar would start producing high-end electric vehicles under its own name and logo. So you can see Volvo saw the brand's long-term potential. The intent in buying Polestar was to make a company its personal performance division. Polestar's engineering philosophy is about creating vehicles that offer an optimally safe, balanced, and reliable driving experience. Polestar's other core business is engine upgrades and enhancements on select Volvo models. I'm talking about tuning and optimizing engines through various software upgrades. The goal is to deliver faster acceleration, faster gear changes, improved reliability, better handling, and better engine response. But now let's take a look at a few things they've done. We'll start with the Polestar One Hybrid. This is Polestar's first attempt at an electric hybrid vehicle. The concept was unveiled in October 2017 in Shanghai, China, and the final version came out in April 2021. It received praise for its design, style, and performance. A major achievement for the Polestar One Hybrid was that it had the largest electric range of any plug-in hybrid at the time. We're talking an astonishing 78 miles. Not bad, considering this was their first attempt. The vehicle is a two-door sports car that's built on the Volvo scalable product architectural platform, powered by a hybrid powertrain, using a front-mounted engine and two electric motors at the rear. We're talking about supercharged and turbocharged high-performance inline-four gasoline engine that drives the front wheels. But you also have electric motors on the rear wheels. These dual rear electric motors control the torque distribution, so the necessary acceleration gets distributed to each wheel, allowing for better handling and cornering. Total output is 619 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. And that's what allows this 5,200-pound coupe to go from 0 to 60 in just 3.9 seconds. In addition, the Polestar One is the world's first car on a chassis to be fitted with the all-new continuously controlled electronic suspension technology. The technology combines the latest in hydraulics and electronics into an advanced semi-active suspension technology. At the basic level, the system automatically monitors the damping characteristics of each of the four shock absorbers in real time, changing the settings up to 400 or 500 times per second. It does this by taking into account data on the movement of the wheels, car body, and many other parameters. To ensure optimal damping in all conditions at all times. CESI technology enables even a limousine to have the characteristics of a sports car when it's cornering and changing lanes. The Polestar 1 weighs roughly 5,200 pounds. Polestar was able to save about 560 pounds with a carbon body, which increased the rigidity of the chassis by 45% and lowered the center of gravity of the entire structure. The EPA gave the Polestar a combined city highway fuel economy rating of 58 miles per gallon and 52 miles per gallon of electric-only travel. That's quite a lot for a plug-in hybrid. But it has its downsides, of course. Polestar 1 is one of the most beautiful semi-electric cars around because of its sporty look. In other words, they distributed the weight slightly rearward. We're talking a weight ratio of 48 to 52 from front to rear. The trade-off is that the batteries take up most of the trunk space. It only offers 4 cubic feet. There's not much legroom in the rear seat, and the sloping roofline, which is attractive from the exterior, does give you a cramped feel when you're inside. Secondly, although it's quite an attractive car, it's also pretty heavy. I mean, it weighs almost as much as a BMW X7. Imagine what better electric range it would have if it were lighter. Well, sometimes you have to pick your battle. But it's not just that. It's a limited run. And base pricing starts at $156,500. So it's by no means something the average Joe's going to buy. But now let's look at Polestar's second project, and that's Polestar 2. So Polestar intended the Polestar 2 to have a higher production volume, significantly larger than the Polestar 1. Their main goal is to compete with Tesla, specifically the Model 3. So you can guess we're talking about an all-electric vehicle. The world is already facing an urgent and catastrophic problem due to the shortage of semiconductor chips. There are some positive forecasts that say the global computer chip crisis should ease between 2022 and 2023. So if that proves true, then this means the production of electric vehicles should go up sharp. But look, this is all speculation, so it's understandable that some automakers are aiming to meet deadlines to make EVs somewhere between 2025 and 2030. What's more, leading organizations such as motorsports governing body FIA have pledged to switch to 100% sustainable fuels in the World Endurance Championship by 2022. Even Formula One is set to do the same by 2025. So if you take into account that GM will enter the WEC in 2023 and the Volkswagen Group is seriously considering applying to participate in Formula One, it only makes sense that these brands wouldn't invest millions of dollars in green fuel racing programs if it didn't provide them with a sizable return on their investment. Now, I'm not going to spend much time to compare these two cars in depth, but here's how I view the 2022 Polestar 2. You can say it's a four-door hatchback when you're looking at it from the rear, but then it's also like a sedan that is a crossover with ground clearance when you're looking at the car from the front. The EV comes with single or dual electric motors. The single-engine model will be front-wheel drive with an estimated range of 265 miles. The twin-engine Polestar 2 gets 249 miles of travel range, but this is offset by all-wheel drive capability and significantly more power for faster acceleration. We're talking about 291 miles of range with non-aggressive drive. The dual engines are capable of producing 408 horsepower with 487 pound-feet of torque, so that EV can go from 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds with a top speed of 125 miles per hour. So just compare that with the all-wheel drive Tesla Model 3, which offers 358 miles on a single charge and has a top speed of 162 miles an hour and can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. So the Tesla wins for now when it comes to performance. But Polestar 2 has its advantages. It offers better looks, better quality of craftsmanship, and better infotainment interface. If that's more important to you than performance, and really, who's driving 162 miles an hour, then you'll likely find Polestar 2 more appealing for its style, interior comfort, and build quality. Let's be real, if you're an everyday pragmatic person, does it really make a difference you can hit 60 miles an hour in 3.1 seconds versus 4.1 seconds? Not really. But the interior comfort is something you'll feel every single moment in the car. Other features of the Polestar 2 include a panoramic glass sunroof, a completely vegan interior, and standard elements made from recycled wood. The 11-inch floating touchscreen in the center of the dashboard contains the world's first native Android automotive operating system, which is basically Google apps and services built right into the car itself. For iPhone users, Apple CarPlay is also available. You also don't need a key fob or even button to start the car. As soon as you get near the car and pull the door handle, it automatically wakes up. And when you sit behind the steering wheel, a sensor in the driver's seat detects your presence. But just step on the brake pedal and the machine turns on. Just flip the switch into drive mode, and that's all there is to it. The car's on the move. And to turn it off, you just press park. So now when you press on the brake pedal while driving a car, a sensor detects the pressure and velocity. Then the onboard computer switches the electric motors to regenerative braking, slowing the car down with electromagnetic resistance to help regenerate energy, which gets sent back to the batteries. This actually returns only about 10% of the energy, but still it's something. If the computer detects that the brake pressure is sudden or extreme, the system doesn't regenerate any energy, but instead activates hydraulic braking to stop the car faster. Here's another feature you might find interesting. If you approach the car at night, it automatically turns the car's headlights on as well as the interior lighting. Of course, any car produced by a company associated with Volvo will offer tons of safety features. Polestar is no different. The Polestar 2 comes standard with 9 airbags, including dual front, side, inner side, and a curtain airbag. It has lane departure assist and lane keeping aid, as well as driver attention monitoring and pre-collision warning. It also has forward-facing camera that detects obstacles like cars, pedestrians, and cyclists. And it also shows upcoming road signs on its 12.3-inch driver display. The Polestar 2 base price starts at $47,000, so its pricing is competitive with the Tesla Model 3. But as with anything, it has its share of disadvantages too. These days, anything that's connected with EV tends to have a life of its own. Polestar 2 is no exception. In October 2020, Polestar recalled all Polestar 2 models, we're talking 2,200 vehicles, due to a software error that caused the vehicle to lose power while driving. And since cars can't update OTA software on their own, all cars had to be recalled to a service center to be manually updated. Now, I don't know about you, but I can just imagine one day someone will program the car to drive itself back to the dealership at night if you miss a car payment. Polestar issued a second recall a month later. This time, 4,586 vehicles were recalled due to faulty inverters. Well, this is only the beginning of the battle for market share for the Swedish manufacturer. Recalls like this will make it harder for consumers to appreciate their car's true worth. But now, you tell me, do you think Polestar will overtake Tesla one day? Money aside, do you find the Polestar EV appealing? And if you have driven a Polestar, please share your experience by commenting below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for your support.